Namaste to all of you. Hope you all are doing well. This Upanishad, which we are going to study today, belongs to the Atharvana Veda, just as the previous two Upanishads. And hence the Shanti mantra is the same for this Upanishad. And I'll chant the Shanti mantra, then we will discuss the Upanishad. Bhadram karnebi shrunuyama devaah Bhadram pashyema akshabhirya jatraah Sthirairange tushtuvagum sastanubhi Veshema devahidam yadayuh Swasti na indro vruddhashravaah Swasti na pusha vishwavedaah Swasti nastarchyo arishtanemihi Swasti no brahaspadir dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace be, peace be, peace be. Fortunately, this is one of the shortest Upanishads, but very profound. It's like a black hole. The entire universe is compressed into a point of singularity, something like that. Though it looks very simple, it is a very profound Upanishad. And it said those who want moksha or liberation or enlightenment, just the study of this Upanishad is enough. Moksharti Mandukyam Patha. Just this Upanishad is enough. Actually, if you are very serious, just a glance is enough. A glance from the Guru is enough. If you are serious. Otherwise, even if your Guru thrashes you, nothing will happen. So that seriousness, focus is very important. So this Upanishad has only 12 mantras. But it has got an elaborate gloss or a commentary by Gaudapada Acharya, who is the grand guru of Shankaracharya, who expounded the Advaita Vedanta based upon the Upanishads. So this commentary written by Gaudapada has 215 slogas, let us say. So we are not going into that. We are just focusing on this Upanishad. So this Upanishad begins with a great proclamation that all that you see around you, within you, including you, everything, idam sarvam. So when I say you, your body, your mind, your ego, your memories, your karmas, everything, and my karma, my body, my memory, that also. And people have lived before and people who are going to live later. The past and the future. The gross, subtle, causal, everything put together. The Upanishad says, is just a word. I read somewhere, first there was the word was with the God, and word became the world. Isn't it? So this Upanishad also says that the whole thing is just a word. Blah, 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 blah. You know, these young people say it's all blah, 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 blah. So this word is just a blah, 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 it says. Just a word. And what is that word? The word is O. The word is Om. So what was the past, present, future, gross, subtle, causal and beyond, everything. If you want a master key, one word for that, it is Om. And Om is within your control, isn't it? You can say Om. You can say Om in many ways. So by chanting Om, you are getting into the symphony of the universe. Regularly. The beauty, the symphony of the universe. And when you listen to a symphony, your mind becomes silent. You transcend into the dimension of silence, isn't it? Mind becomes quiet. No desire, no thought. If you are listening carefully, with involvement, when you listen to a symphony, the experience is total silence. Isn't it? So similarly, Om is a word, and that Om is made up of three sounds. What are three sounds? We all know that. Matras. A, U, Ma. A, U, Ma. Om. Om. So by regularly chanting this Om, which is the whole universe, so that's the master key the Upanishads is giving us. You are able to step into the rhythm and the dance of the universe. You can dance with Shiva, let us say. The whole universe is metaphorically described as Shiva's dance. Shiva's dance. And when Shiva is quiet, the universe collapses into a point of singularity. Again, after some time, Shiva gets up and dances. So similarly, when you chant the Om, A, U, Ma, then followed by a silence. Amatra, they say. Matra means the sound. Is followed by a gap of silence, which is amatra. Matra means silence, no sound. So these three sounds, A, O, Ma put together, become the symphony of Om. And by chanting Om, you are pitchforked into the dimension of total silence. That silence is bliss. That silence is health, isn't it? When you are healthy, you are silent. Otherwise, you call the doctor, you call up everybody, I have pain here, I have pain there, my mind is upset. But when you are healthy, you are in deep silence. You are in bliss. You are enlightened. You embrace the whole universe. You have nothing to say. You understand everything. So this Om become a key. And this is under your control. The world is not under your control, but Om is there. That is why I say the Om, first there was the word was with God. You are the God. Deep down you are the God. So this is what the Upanishad says. The whole existence is a sound. A, U, Ma. So Upanishad begins, Om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam. This is a sound. This is the word. The combination of these three sounds. And we know when you open your mouth and breathe out, it becomes Ah, isn't it? Ah. When you chant that, you feel a certain relief. So whenever you are under stress, tremendous stress, just open your mouth and bring the roof down by saying Ah. And when you feel relaxed, then say Ooh. Oh, ouch, what a joy that I get, isn't it? Then after solution for all your problems. Why are you running around? Why are you running around? This is the solution for all your problems. Whether it's a health issue, whether it's a mental issue, whether it's a social issue, family issue. Begin with yourself. Then the whole world looks beautiful. Otherwise, the whole world is in topsy-turvy. So, leads to silence. And from the silence emerges ah. So silence is the foundation. Silence is fullness. Please understand. It's not the giram, I don't want to talk to you. It's not that silence. It is a silence out of your fullness, your fulfillment, your health, your joy. Then you are silent. So, ends in silence, and the emerges from silence. So, therefore, you can say sound is a modified silence. I would say the whole universe is silence, a symphony. A symphony. So you can say sound is a modified silence. The sound of silence, isn't it? And the silence of sound. So the Upanishad says everything is a big bang. Om. Kandam bitva viniryado tasmasan mangalega vibhav. Somewhere it is said there was a disturbance in Brahma, Vikalpa, in consciousness, which became this Om sound. And the Om sound comes to a certain crescendo and then goes back. And also it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, this sound, the duration of this sound is 8.6 billion years, the cosmic sound. The duration of this cosmic sound, it is said in the Bhagavad Gita. Sahasra yuga paryandam aharyad brahmano viduhu. 8.6 billion years, human years. That is one creation, one sound. I don't want to go into all those details because you yourself will realize all this. Because when you reach that state, there is no duration, nothing is there. It is only simple silence. So we don't want to go into all this nitty-gritty. We want that inner joy. And the rest is play. It is details. So you have that master key with you. Oh. So Upanishad begins with this proclamation, Om iti edad aksharamidam sarvam. Tasya ubhavyakhyanam bhudam bhavad bhavishyadidi. What was there in the past, what is here now, what will happen in the future, everything is just blah, blah, blah. Forgive me for saying that. Just words, he says. Then, yaccha anyat trikaladidam, what is beyond this sound is silence. Or the sound leads to silence. So that silence also is part of the sound. Tadapi avankarameva. Because sound is modified silence. This is how the Upanishad begins. So to whet your curiosity, then what? I should say, therefore, from today onwards, start chanting Om every day. You can say for all your problems. It's a mental issue, social issue, whatever issue. Because first of all, you have to repair yourself before you start repairing the world. Sir, remove the plank from your eyes before you remove the speck from your neighbor's eyes. So unless you cure yourself, heal yourself, become whole, how can you help others? And when you are whole, you don't even have to help others. They will watch you. and organize themselves. Just be a magnet. And then the iron filings itself get magnetized. You don't have to do anything. When the sun rises, the lotuses bloom. Sun doesn't do anything. So this is the great glad tidings, proclamation made by the Upanishad. Everything is Om. The Om is in your control. So chant Om every day. Now, the next mantra, the Upanishad says, very interestingly, Sarvam Etad Brahma. Another word is introduced. Word, isn't it? So instead of saying Om, the next mantra of the Upanishad says, you are a student of Upanishad, and Upanishad talks about Brahman, you are Brahman, Tattvamasi, or Upanishad repeats it again and again, Aham Brahmasmi and all that. What is this Brahman? Brahman is that without any boundary. That's the meaning of Brahman, the big. So Upanishad talks about Brahman. We don't know where it is. But it is in the Upanishad. And as the students of the Upanishad, being part of that tradition and culture, Brahman is my goal. What is Brahman? Without any boundary. Deshakala Adhitam. That Brahman, we all want to realize that Brahman. Upanishadam Brahma. What is talked about? Because we all are wanting to know what is our ultimate destination. Where are we headed? So for that, the Upanishad says, don't worry, there is a destination, that is Brahman. Where is Brahman? What is Brahman? We don't know. But the Upanishad says Brahman is Brahatvat Brahma, Vardhanat Brahma, all those things. I am going to give 5 talks on Brahman, then I'll come to that. So let us say this Upanishadam Brahma, the Upanishad talks about Brahman, that Brahman is all this. If Om is all this, idam, the whole thing is Sarvam hi edad Brahma. If Brahman is all this and Om is all this, meaning what? Om is Brahman. Om is under your control. Om is Brahman. Then the Upanishad goes further. He says, I am Atma Brahma. What is that Brahman? Where is that Brahman? How is that Brahman which Upanishad talks about, which I am inspired? Because you are always inspired about something which you don't know. If you know, intimacy breeds contempt. Once you know Brahman, then you have no value for that. So I am inspired by that Brahman. Where is that Brahman? Rishi takes a about turn and he says, he touches you. You are Brahman. I am Atma Brahma. Or he may be pointing to himself also. I am Atma Brahma. Brahman is the nearest. Brahman is you, is behind you, above you. We have seen that. Above you, below you, inside you, outside you, everywhere it is there. Why don't you open your eyes and feel it? Feel like a cube of ice fallen into the ocean. When a cube of ice falls into the ocean, what happened to the ice? It feels the whole ocean, isn't it? Therefore he says, you are that Brahman. The bliss that you are seeking is your nature. So not only Brahman is all this, I am Atma Brahma. The Rishi equates Om, Upanishadam Brahma, Brahman and Om is the same. And that Brahman is you, the I. That's your deepest experience. I. You say all the time. The I never leaves you. Everything else leaves you. Your wife, your children, your wealth, your property, everybody leaves you. Your country, everything leaves. What remains with you is the I. Therefore, Brahman is equal to Atman. This is called the Mahavakya. This Upanishad, there are 4 Mahavakyas, 4 or 5 Mahavakyas. This is one of the Mahavakyas. I am Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Sarvam Khalvitam Brahma. There are a few couple of Mahavakyas. Mahavakya mean the great statements, identity statements. So, Om, Brahman, which is discussed in the Upanishad as your ultimate goal, and the I, that's what I feel. And you can say Om, when you say Om, something from the very depth arises, cleanses you completely, cleanse you up, and you feel relieved and relaxed. When you say Om, it touches all the nadis and then all the chakras, and then you feel elevated and you feel like a butterfly, come out of the pupa state. So the Om, I experience. When you say I, of course, you have got many dimensional experiences. When you say I, you can say my body, your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, your karmas, your intentions, your pain, your pleasures. Different times you identify with the different aspects of your I. So let me put this equation correctly. Om is equal to I is equal to Brahman, my destination. When you realize it, suddenly you drop into meditation, isn't it? Suddenly you drop into meditation. That's what I feel. You feel like a cube of ice fallen into the ocean. Or like a clump of camphor, burning camphor. You feel totally relaxed and fulfilled. So, Sarvam hi edat Brahma, I am Atma Brahma. So I am Atma Chadushpada. This is the architecture of this Atma, the structure of the Atma, the matrix of the Atma. This Atma means I, me, you and I. We have three states of consciousness. We travel in these three states. We become different citizens. We gain different identities. So what are these three states through which we travel? And the final travel is the fourth state. What are these three states? That's what the Upanishad discusses. Jagarida sthana, the first state of consciousness where most of us are living, is Jagarida sthana, the waking state. Isn't it? I hope you are in the waking state now. Are you? Or some of you are sleeping. So, Jagarida sthana means the waking state. In the waking state, you are experiencing the world through the five sense organs, thinking about the world, creating models about the world, and trying to respond to the world, depending upon your need. So that's called the Jagarida sthanam. You see, we live for 90 years maximum. Or the 90 years, half of the time you are sleeping. The Jagarida sthana means only 1/3 of your life. That also I am not sure. In the office also you sleep. In the classes also you sleep. So Jagarida sthanam, we spend the time in the waking state of consciousness, where you are experiencing the outer world through the five sense organs, processed by the mind and memories and intellect. And the processing depends upon your ego, your identity, your need for survival, the entire drama of that, the whole circus. So that's called Jagarida avastha. 1/3 of your life you spend in the waking state. Jagarida sthana, just think about it. These are all your daily experience. You don't have to discuss with others. You don't need an expert to know this. Jagarida sthana. 1/3 of your life is spent in the Jagrita Avastha. That also up to the age of 21, you are in your own little world. You are not conscious about the world much. You are conscious of your own inner world. Then slowly the waking world, because you leave home and in the college, and then money is not coming, and you fell in love with the girl and you don't like your teachers, then you become conscious of the world. Isn't it? So, Jagrita Sthanaha, the waking state. Think about it. You have to do a lot of reflection on that, the waking state. In the waking state, Jagrita Sthanaha, Bahishprajna, you are conscious of the world outside. Your thoughts are extroverted. Your identity is depending upon where you are, with whom you are, what you have. Isn't it? That's your identity. I'm an American, I'm a rich man, I'm a CEO, all that. I'm a divorcee, all those things. Depending upon what you have, your relationship with the world outside. But that's only 1/3 of your life. Jagrita Sthanaha, Bahishprajnaha. And then Saptangaha. At that time you are conscious of the body. Body has got 7 parts. Saptanga. What is Saptanga? Head, neck, trunk, 2 legs, 2 hands. All put together become Saptangam. You are confined to that body. And then your experience of the world is determined by your body experience also. Saptangaha. Egona Vimshati Mugaha. And you experience the world through 19 outlets, you say. Egona Vimshati Mugaha. What are these 19 outlets? 5 sense organs through which you receive sensations. 5 organs of action through which you respond to those sensations. 5 pranas. 5 pranas, because which you are able to maintain this body. When prana goes, body is fallen, it's on the ground, isn't it? So 5 pranas. I don't want to say what are the 5 pranas, we already explained it. And what are the 5 sense organs? You know this, you are operating it. What are the 5 organs of action through which you respond to the world? That also you know. Because you are PhD students, I don't want to go into the basics now. So 5 pranas, 5 organs of action, 5 motor organs, and the inner antakarana equipment, mind, intellect, ego, and memories. All these are involved in your experiences. So that is why 5 prana, 5 organs of action, 5 motor organs, 5 pranas. So 5 prana, 5 motor organs, 5 organs of perception, and these 4 antakaranas together become 19. Through these 19 apertures, 19 instruments, you are experiencing and processing and responding and living in the waking. And then Stula Bhuk. Your experience are all gross objects. Your food, your movies, your various other things, gross objects. Objects which is publicly available. You say, I see the chair, you also can see the chair. So public objects, gross objects, you experience in the waking state. So now in that state you are called the waker. In the Upanishad you have the word Vaishwanaraha, the waker. In the waking world, you are the waker. That's your identity. That's your identity. At this point, you are the waker, Vaishwanara, you are living the waking world, you are listening to the lecture, you are processing it, and all that. This is 1/3 of your life. Then you move into, after, running around for 18 hours or 12 hours, or then you go to sleep. You go to sleep. In that sleep, you dream. You quickly go to sleep and then you start dreaming. That is another universe altogether. Because in the dream state, you are a totally different person. You might have eaten very well, sumptuous dinner, then you go to sleep, then you feel you are fasting. You have not eaten in the dream. The one who feasted in the waking world, go to the sleep world, he feels he is fasting. When the richest man go to sleep and dream, he feels that he has become very poor. When the king goes to sleep and dream, he become a beggar. Isn't it? That's a totally different universe. There you become a totally different person. So think of that. Think of that. So he says, Swapnasthanaha, the second state of consciousness is Swapnasthanaha, the dream state. This is very interesting. Dream can be pleasant dreams, painful dreams, exciting dreams. In the dream you can become rich, you can become the President of the United States or the Prime Minister of India. Anything is possible in the dream world. And it is, dream is necessary. REM, sleep is necessary. Dream is necessary. Otherwise you go crazy. We all go crazy. So thank God we are able to dream. Not only we in the waking, in the dream, in sleep you dream. Even in the waking world sometimes you dream, isn't it? You can dream. Even when you are in deep thought, you are dreaming. Because that dream is connected with the world outside. You take data from the world outside, then you process all that unconsciously or subconsciously, and you create your own world. That's what you do in actual dream also. In the dream state. It's very interesting. We don't give much importance to dream, but Freud gave a lot of importance to dream. Carl Jung gave a lot of importance to dream. They analyzed it just to understand what's our real problem. And through those analysis, they are able to cure people, psychological problems. So, the second state, we are citizens of the world of dreams. And the dream, you become totally different. In India, in dream, you become Amitabh Bachchan. In America, I don't know, maybe some other, maybe Biden or somebody else. So dream world is a totally different world. Dream world, you become something else. So it's called Swapnasthanaha, Antaprajnaha. There your consciousness is confined to inside the mind. Your identity is confined. Antaprajna. You are not moving, you are not experiencing the world. You are experiencing something inside. Antaprajna. There also Saptangaha Evam Namishodimo. There also you experience a body. You also experience all that what you experience in the waking world. Through memory you experience. You recollect that in the dream world. Dream world is heavily influenced by the present experience, past experience, God alone knows, maybe the previous life experience. All those things. We don't know where you collect all this data. You know, sometimes you see flying elephant, don't you, in dream? You yourself are flying sometimes in dream. Anything is possible. It's the dream world, which is very important to keep your sanity and balance in life. Pravibhakta Bhuga. But there you are experiencing things in a very confused way, in a mixed way, like a collage. Pravibhakta means non-distinct. Things are not distinct. You feel you are going to New York and then you find yourself in California. Then you find a person you already dead and gone. Isn't it? It's not logically arranged. It is not logically and sequentially arranged. It is all arranged in a hocus pocus way. It's a clash of things. That's why Pravivikta Bukka, not distinct and rationally organized. It's your own dreams. Pravivikta Bukka. There you become the dreamer. Earlier you are the waker. Now you are the dreamer. That also is a beautiful experience. That also adds to your repertoire of experiences and determines your identity. But it's totally different. Though it has a flavor of the waking world, it also may have flavor of various other experiences, what you heard and what you read and what you aspire and all that. That is a second state of consciousness which we are going through. Now there is a third state of consciousness. But the third state of consciousness, suptaha, in deep sleep. In deep sleep. In deep sleep what happens? Na kanchana kamam kamayade. There is no desire at all. No desire. No frustration. No anger. No lust. Think of that. And still you are there. You have not disappeared. You have only shed some cloth. You only pulled some mask, let us say. In deep sleep. Na kanchana kamam kamayate. No desire at all. No anger. No jealousy. No need. Na swapnam pashyati. You are not dreaming also in deep sleep. Tada sushuptam. That is a state of sushupti. Deep sleep. Dreamless, deep sleep. This dreamless, deep sleep is equated to death also. In death also is a long sleep, isn't it? You disappear here and then you appear somewhere else and you lost your earlier telephone number. That's it. So you cannot come back. In death what happens? You disappear here and you appear somewhere else and you are not getting into the same body, you walk into some other body. Like you move from New York to California, you don't get into the same house, you buy another house and settle there. That is all what death is. Death is not your death. Death is your death to the body. This useless physical body. It served some purpose once upon a time. It's no more serving a purpose. You try to paint it and repair it and now you understand it is no more worth the painting. Dump it. Isn't it? And buy a new car or something like that. New computer or new radio or whatever. So deep sleep. The deep sleep is equated to death also. Death also is one of our experience. So, sushuptaha na sapnam pashyati tadu sushuptam. What happened there? Ego bhudaha prajnana ganaha. All your thoughts, all your worldly experiences collapse into a state of ego bhudam. Everything becomes one there, a point of singularity there. And when you wake up, everything manifests again. So there the subject-object duality collapses into a point of singularity. That is called prajnana ghanaha. Consciousness becomes a mass. It is not disturbed much. Consciousness becomes a mass, anandamaya. And you experience joy there. Are you not happy in deep sleep? Anybody unhappy in deep sleep? No, it's not possible. That's why we all want to go to sleep. Because that is the only time, only place we feel happy. All our happiness is only pleasure. Indulging and embracing and then fighting and all that. In deep sleep, you are abiding. Sushupti, sopiti. You abide in yourself. Deep sleep. And you spend 8 hours every day in deep sleep, isn't it? I mean, not necessarily, but sometime you reach that depth in 8 hours of trying to sleep. So in deep sleep, you become the sleeper. Not the sleeper in the sleeper coach in the train or anything. Sleeper. You're sleeping. And Upanishads got words for this. In that state, you become prajnaha. Prajnaha means you almost know nothing. Almost know nothing. But things are happening in you. You are breathing, your digestion is taking place, your blood is circulating, your cells are being nurtured and nourished, your brain is recouping itself or becoming quiet to a certain extent. Mind is calm in deep sleep. So much is happening in deep sleep, but not under your control. You don't have any agency there. You don't have any agency in deep sleep. So that state is when you are sleeping, you have no agency, you are not under control. In dream there is some control, in waking there is more control, but in deep sleep there is no control. So who is taking care of you? And you are very happy also. Who is taking care of you? That Upanishad says, at that time you are under the control of Ishvara. Ishvara. Everything is arranged by Lord. You know, you are a child. So therefore everything is organized for you. Insurance is taken for you. Health insurance and your education insurance. Everything is taken care of by the parent, isn't it? So in deep sleep, when you are no agency, you are not under control, who is controlling everything? Something is happening there. You are breathing, everything is happening. So in that state, you are in close under control of Ishvara, he says. Eshaha sarvajnaha, eshaha sarveshwaraha. At that state. Think of that. You must be thankful to God, isn't it? That at sleep everything is happening meticulously, properly. And when you wake up, everything is okay. And you feel refreshed. So that is the time you are under the direct supervision of Ishvara. Otherwise also you are under the direct supervision, but you don't recognize it, you don't appreciate it. But in deep sleep you understand, I am not in control. It's like a doctor, you are under surgery. You are under anesthesia and then you don't know what is happening. You trust in the doctor and the doctor performs the surgery. Then after some time you come back, doctor, you are my God. Because at that time, I was not under control. Similarly, in deep sleep, you are not in control. So you can extend it further. So in deep sleep, I am under the control of Ishvara. Then in waking and dream also, I am the control of that cosmic organizing principle. And I am a part of that as a body-mind complex. So your life becomes a thanksgiving. I thank the universe for what I am, where I am, how I am. This is called devotion. This is called devotion. From this experience, you become a devotee. You recognize that is a power which is superintending everything. So this is Eshaha Sarvajnaha, Eshaha Andaryami. He is controlling from a very deep level. Things are being controlled. Eshaha Yonihi. This is the source of everything, he says. Because when you wake up from this state. Yonihi. Sarvasya Prabhavapiyo. So you merge into that state in deep sleep. You emerge from that state when you wake up. That's a prabhava apyayo. Prabhava means manifestation. Apya means unmanifestation. So you become deeply spiritual person. But according to Vedanta, this is not the last destination. Vedanta says this state is called the Saguna Brahma or Apara Brahma. You have reached only Saguna or Apara Brahma. One more step to go. That step is called Nirguna Brahman, Parabrahman. This, in deep sleep, what you experience is a kind of anandam, a reflected joy, not a real joy, not real anandam. Then you surrender to God, when you appreciate the presence of God, there is a kind of relaxation, kind of relief, kind of happiness, isn't it? When the mother comes home, children feel relaxed. Now I don't have to do anything, she will do everything, isn't it? Similarly, when you know this, you feel good. And when you are in the hand of a good doctor, you feel good. You are happy in going to anesthesia, isn't it? Because you will take it. Similarly, but there is one more step to go. So these three states of consciousness is called the realm of change, mithya, something like that. The three levels of consciousness, including Ishvara, fall in the realm of change, mithya, constant change. Because they negate each other. When you are in dream, you are not sleeping. When you are in sleep, deep sleep, you are not dreaming. When you are in the waking state, you are neither dreaming or sleeping, isn't it? They are mutually cancelling states of consciousness. But now there is a fourth state, the underlying state. Actually, it's not even a fourth state, it is the underlying state of consciousness. It's called Turiya. Turiya state. I hope you are with me. I hope you all are with me. You know, I am taking the last leap. So you are behind my cycle. So don't follow that. This is the last leap you are taking. So be very careful. So from the A-U-M, we are going to the last state of silence, amatra. So be very careful. Be very, very, very acutely sensitive. Now the next state is called the Turiya. So we realize that all these three states of consciousness is only just a spanda, a vikalpa in consciousness. Just a sound. Vikalpa in consciousness. Spanda. Spanda means a disturbance, a vibration. There is a big bang or a small bang, it's just a spanda. So now we are ready for the final launch into, to break out of the gravity of the material life and go into the higher state of consciousness, what's called enlightenment. So that state is, of course, we have seen through chanting Om, doing pranayama, and the process of listening to the scriptures, listening to your masters. This is a state, which is understanding. The whole thing is mithya, you understand. Mithya means changing, mutually cancelling, contradictory, paradoxical. Just a word, blah blah again. So then, what is it? What is beyond is the question. What is the foundation of all this? Where I can feel stable, steady. Now you are ready for contemplation, meditation, because you have seen the ephemerality of all this. If you don't know this, in deep sleep, when you wake up, you understand, where was the world in deep sleep? Or when you are staring the final stages of your life, when you are facing, then you understand, which will come. When you hear the the sound of death, you will see. Or intelligently. You use your intelligence. So it's time for us to move into the fourth level. So here it is, the process of Nedi Nedi comes again. So in a very beautiful verse, the Upanishads state that state. The first state, the underlying for this. So the entire sound depends upon this state of silence. The entire world of changing world depends upon this changeless substratum. And this world is only an appearance of that, which is called Vivartavada, Vivarta or Ajadavada. The world is only an appearance. You know, like you take H2O. H2O is the fundamental, isn't it? And that H2O, because of its disturbances, because its movement, it can appear as water, it can appear as vapor, it can appear as snow, solid snow, liquid water, and gaseous vapor. But what is underlying is only H2O. This is what called Ajadavada. There is no water, there is no vapor, there is no snow, there is only H2O. The rest are only appearances, which comes and goes. Please think of that. Or how this sound is leading to a symphony of silence. So therefore there is only H2O, the rest are all appearance. When we understand this, these small pinpricks of life. She did not remember my birthday. She was arrogant. All these little pinpricks simply disintegrate like a piece of snow in the ocean, isn't it? So whenever you are in trouble, problem, upset, go back to the state. Go back to the state. Revisit the state. And then come back. So what is that? That state? It is called my God. This is very wonderful. This sloka is beautiful. This sloka says, Nanda prajnam na bekish prajnam no bhayada prajnam na prajnana ghanam na prajnam na aprajnam. Some of you may know this. Just listening to it is interesting, isn't it? Nanda prajnam na bekish prajnam no bhayada prajnam na prajnana ghanam na prajnam na prajnam. Adrishyam, abhyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achindyam. This is for your meditation. These words will deliver you there. Achindyam, avyapadeshyam, megatma pratyasaram, prapanjovashamam, shantam, shivam, advaidam. Shiva. Advaidam. Where there is no conflict or duality. There is nothing to acquire, nothing to give up. Shantam, Shivam, Advaidam, Chadurtham, Manyande. That is the fourth state. Sa Atma, Sa Vijñeya, Ahamidi. So, this fourth state is, the Upanishad says, it is not Nanda Prajna, Nambahish Prajna. It is beyond the waking state, dream state, sleep state, in-between state. And it cannot be reached by, it is adrishyam, invisible. It's adrishyam, it's invisible. It's something like you cannot taste your own tongue, can you? You cannot. You cannot write on your own shoulder. It is invisible. Though it is invisible, it is the foundation for all visible objects. Therefore, don't try to look around and see where it is. You are able to see because of that. We have already seen that. You are able to speak because of that. So it is invisible, abhyavaharyam. It's not available for transactions to give and take. I can take this and I can give up this. I am tired of this, let me throw it away. That's not possible. Just as fire cannot either receive or give up heat. It is heat. So therefore, abhyavaharyam, agrahyam, you cannot hold it. Alakshanam, you cannot indicate it. This is Brahman, it's cannot be indicated. Achintyam cannot be thought about. Avyavadesham cannot be described. So what should I do? Keep quiet, he says. Shut up and get out, as they say. What else can you do? Shut up. Get up. Straighten yourself up. That's what they say. Avyavadesham. Egatma pratyaya. Then what should I do? Egatma pratyaya swaram. Keep this thought in mind. I am that. Egatma. I am that. It is like a thread running through every phenomena. What you call karya karana buddhi, we say. In all these effects, this is the running thread. Egatma pratyaya saram. Technically, we say akhandakara vritti. When you listen to the scripture, the gurus, and experience life, look at around, you are able to see the running golden thread which connects everything into a beautiful garland. So you are always alert to that. When somebody shouts at you, you are not seeing the person who shouts, but the person behind the shouting. Let me say that. And that level, you and he or she is one and the same. So, egatma pratyaya saram. And that egatma pratyaya, that state of mind, that quiet mind is gained by inner dialogue and discussing with the gurus and the scripture and watching life and all that. Or chanting Om, doing pranayama, etc. Egatma pratyaya saram. Prapanchopashamam. Where you experience deep quietude. You can see through the magic of the world. Prapanchopashamam. You can see through. You have that vision. So nothing can disturb. Prapanchopashamam, shantam, quiet, silent. This does not mean you don't speak or you don't engage in activities. In spite of that, you enjoy that. Another way you can say you enjoy everything. Being in the world, being out of the world, alone with people. That's the meaning of Shantam. It is not a burial ground peace. It is a dynamic peace. So Shantam, Shivam. That is Shiva. That is what you are. Sa-atma. Sa-atma means that what you are. Sabijñaya. This you have to realize. This you have to realize. How? Ahamidi. This is me. This is me. Realize that. That realization is what we all are aspiring for. So for that realization, you have to chant Om. Understand, as Patanjali says, Om, Pranavaha. Pranava is its abhidhanam, the name. And that pranava is to be tajjaba, tadartha, ananam. You have to reflect on this meaning of this. So in the Om, the first sound, represents the entire waking world. Because Om is made up of three sounds and that beyond. So represents the entire waking world. U represents the entire dream world. Ma represents the entire sleep world, including Ishvara. And then, following silence, give to you to that. So when we remain in that state, then you can manage the world beautifully. So chant A, O, Ma every day with this understanding. So A represents the gross world, Ma represents the subtle world, O represents the subtle world, Ma represents the causal world, and the silence takes you there. All those things is a grand symphony. So you have this master key. Use this master key. Chant Om every day. Morning, evening, in between. In olden days, I remember when we write a letter, you start with Om. These days, I, who and all that, isn't it? So there, in olden days, our grandparents, when they write a letter, they start with Om. And they close it with the Om. In between couple of Oms. Similarly, when you get a phone call, instead of saying hi, say Om. When he shouts at you, say Om. When your husband shouts at you, say Om. When your wife is moody sitting there like a question mark, say Om. Every time. Oh, Om is the master key, the panacea, according to this Upanishads. So chant Om with this understanding. So Om is just is a means as well as the end also. It is an alambana, it is padam, padyadeti padam, it takes you there, and its ultimate destination. Om is not just a symbol, Om is the truth. Because Om is the vibration in consciousness, the spanda, the vikalpa. So please understand this and then make your life a happy experience. Rather than feeling miserable. There's nothing to feel miserable about the world, about yourself. So Upanishad reveals the identity between Om, Atma, I, and Brahman, what is discussed in the Upanishad, my goal, everything is explained here, tied very beautifully together. So, with this understanding, you feel happy, enlightened, healthy, cheerful, loving, caring, accommodating, sharing, whatnot. What else do you want? So, the Upanishad gives you the master key, Om. Now, next week, I'll be talking about the God of the Itara. Itara means the outsider. The poor man, the marginalized person out there, who is not studied much, who is an outsider, he is an avarna. His God. Is it something similar to our God or something different? We would like to know. If somebody have a different version of God, I would like to know. So the God of the Itara, the outsider. What is his concept? He is not an educated person. He is just a pot maker or a smith, beating the hot iron on the anvil. Or a weaver. Or a scavenger. What is his idea of God? Does he have privilege to have the same bliss and experience? Or is it a preserve of few people? So that will be the theme. Next Upanishad, the Aitareya Upanishad. Thank you very much. Hari Om. So chant Om every day. Do pranayama and learn to sit properly and chant Om. And that Om is a master key. You have everything in it. In Om. You can chant it. You can reflect upon that. You can analyze it. You can meditate on that. And you are okay. You are in the right place. Thank you once again.